was pretty clinical.
Yeah, it was pretty good, pretty special. I think the way they played just it makes you proud as a coach. I think everyone can sit back, regardless of the score, and appreciate. For fellas who come together 10 days ago to be able to do that under pressure. So I think, yeah, really, just a real great performance.
Freddie, your back five, almost 1,000 metres and 100 carries between the five of them. Must be impressed.
They're good ones, I'm sure. They're good stats.
Not bad.
They were awesome. They were awesome. And, we broke down their middle a lot because their middle had to contain Teddy, all our forwards, plus Tommy and Latrell. They're all coming through, and so they did a really good job. Brian Tyre, first game, seriously, he was outstanding.
Freddie, on Tommy, what was the role? What was he just given free rein to do what the heck he wanted, basically?
No, there's stuff he has to do for the team, and I think once we start to get on top, you could just see that we'll finish in our sets well, and we'll put them under pressure with where they're getting the ball back, and that just brings that sort of play. Allows players to do that, to roam a little bit, and so he just took advantage.
Dream as a coach, right? It's an ideal situation to have a guy like that who can just know when to insert himself and do it the way he does.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the biggest thing. We talk about stuff you got to do for the team, and he's just a really good decision maker at the moment. He's doing it for Manly, obviously, and I think there was a few of them doing that. There was a few blokes out there all in sync.
You were part of the 56-16 winning 2000 as captain, I think. Does this eclipse that? I mean, obviously, score-wise it does, but in terms of the comprehensive nature of the
this is game one. Yeah. So I think that one was game 3. So it's a big difference. We've had a convincing win in every year. So we're well aware that nothing's been achieved as yet.
Freddie, surely you can't lose the series if they play like that again. You can't lose it.
Thanks, Rob. Good question. Is that a question or a statement? A statement.
If they play like that again, do you think you can lose the series?
Well, we'll see, mate.
Freddie, that cut for Nath, how bad is that? Is it an issue for him?
I don't know.
Like the next couple of weeks?
Did you see?
Into playing, so it should be sweet.
That was pretty frustrating. It cost us 2 interchanges. They faced a fair few hurdles. I know it was a big scoreline, but it was 9-1 against us in the 6 agains, and Nathan got ruled to go off with the blood. So that cost you 2 interchanges. It was a lot they had to climb over.
Is that Nathan's best game for the Blues?
It's hard to say. You'd know more than me, because I think the other blokes stood out so much.
Game 2 last year, he made the match as well, so he's been playing pretty good the last 2 years.
Teddy, what was it like out there? Give us an insight into what it felt like.
Just felt confident, I think. As I said, we had a few things go against us, a lot of 6 agains on the back foot, but there was no panic. A lot of guys in their first game, and we all just stayed together. We all just went after the challenge and just felt comfortable the whole game, so felt really good.
Freddie, did you sense a performance like that from Latrell?
No, he's been good, without a doubt, and I think his last game when they played Parramatta, he was good. So, like I said, I think when everyone works together, I think everyone pretty much stood out. Tarek Sims was outstanding. There's a few players there that were sort of missing most really along the way that had huge impacts on the game. So, but Latrell's run early in the game where he went up the sideline, that was a big moment of the game, and then his tackle where he came in as well. A couple of huge plays.
Given what Latrell's been through in his rep career, is it great to see him produce that sort of performance out there in the blue jersey?
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone agrees it's great to see him. He's a good player. He does some great things on the field, so it was awesome to have him out there.
There's plenty of talk about how Nathan and Jerome would be able to take what they do at Penrith to Origin level. Just Jerome's performance on debut didn't look like anything fazed him.
No, it didn't seem that way. But there's still 2 weeks to go, so a lot can happen in 2 weeks. So, I wish all the players the best.
To come up here and win like here today, like it felt pretty wild like just that crowd factor as they're all feeling in. There was almost no Blues fans here. To put on a performance like that up here when you've got to win at least one of the two to keep it alive, that must be very satisfying.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, without a doubt. But we haven't won at Suncorp for 3 years now. So that's the challenge. You know, this is sort of, you know, obviously it's over now, so the challenge is Suncorp. We haven't won there, so there's a really big goal in front of us.
How do you handle that expectation, Freddie?
Well, they've got to go back to their, you know, everyone goes back now and gets back into the club for a while, and you know, we just hopefully keep improving. You know, when we come back together, I'm gathering they'll come back in, and should be in a pretty good headspace given what happened tonight, and we've got to get better.
How much better do you expect Queensland to be game 2?
Well, it's up to them really.
So psychologically, what does it do to a team to lose like that?
They're going to be hurting. I think it's going to be a different team game 2. They're going to want to, you know, like last year we lost game 1 and came out firing game 2, so I'm sure it'll be similar, and it's going to be at Suncorp as well, which is always a tough task. So it's going to be a challenge. When it was a convincing win, but yeah, as Freddie said, we're still going to win. It's got to win 2 more.
Freddie, in the back of mind, do you think back to Perth a couple of years ago, because you guys smashed them over in Perth, had all the momentum going to game 3, and they took you right to the wires. Like it's not as if it hasn't been done before. They can bounce back really quickly.
Excuse me. Like I was saying, we've won a game every year, sort of quite convincing. So, and if you go through those other games, we won one with 12 players at the back end of the half, at the back end of the game, and then the other one, Teddy scored on the bell. So